Thank you, Boris, Goran, Helen, and Pedro for showing so interesting. Thank you. So interesting ways to face accessibility in higher education, when again standardization, dialogue, commitment between the different stakeholders are crucial in this issue. Now I would like to ask Victor Carvalho from the University of Porto to come on stage. He will give the closing remarks and the details of the afternoon session.
Hi everyone, thank you for staying with us through today's enlightenment discussions. I'm the one preventing you to refill your glucose levels, so just bear with me a little more time and we will go to lunch afterwards, okay? So I'm honored to do these closing remarks here on behalf of the panel Enhancing Accessibility for Students with Disabilities in European Higher Education. And I will also like to extend my gratitude to our panelists for their invaluable contributions. Today's session was highlighted not only the strides we've made, but also the work that we have ahead as we pursue a truly inclusive higher education landscape across Europe. I would like to say some comments about our first sessions. And Gerald began to say where to start. And I think we should start, as I think Gerald will agree, to pave the way for accessibility in higher education since the early ages. At least here in Portugal, there is a long way to go in this aspect. And we need to think about the younger ones if we want to strive in higher education. And another phrase that struck at me was, when we design for the extremes, we inspire the mainstream, and that is also true. So searching for new solutions for problems will not only benefit persons with disabilities, but everyone else also. Will make their lives easier, of course. Alice said also that we need to have a robust knowledge on the community. And that is also true in our reality here at the University of Porto. We need also to do a long way to implement accessibility in all its axes in our university. And I've also listened to talk about legislation and its impact on the private sector, but on the public sector as well, we need to do pretty much the same battle. Because here in Portugal, we were one of the first countries to have legislation about accessibility and turning web pages accessible for everyone since, I believe, the late 90s. But as a matter of fact, even today, at 2024, that it's not the reality. Most of the sites aren't accessible, or at least they don't reach the minimum accessible requirements here in Portugal concerning, for example, public educational institutions. So to begin, I would revisit some of the key themes that emerged from today's panel. First, we saw the importance of embedding accessibility within quality standards, and accessibility must be part of every institution's core benchmarks to ensure equitable learning environments. Second, the panel discussed the challenges of bridging policy and practical applications. While many institutions have equity, diversity, and inclusion policies, translating these into tangible daily practices can be challenging. And finally, leveraging technology for inclusive education emerged as a vital theme. Technological advancements, particularly in assistive technologies, have shown promising results in making education accessible to a wider range of students. So I will talk first about Goran Dakovic, that shared valuable insights on accessibility across Europe as a core quality measure. Goran spoke about the European standards and guidelines for quality assurance and the essential role of quality assurance agencies in embedding accessibility within these standards. He reminded us that student-centered learning is not just an educational goal, but a fundamental principle for achieving inclusivity in higher education. This perspective underscores that educational quality should be evaluated by how effectively it serves all students, especially those with disabilities. His vision for the future of quality assurance in accessibility shows us a pathway toward integrating accessibility as an inherent part of educational excellence across Europe. Our second panelist, Elena Peterbauer, brought an insightful perspective on implementing equity, diversity, and inclusion policies in higher education institutions. Helena noted that while EDI policies are increasingly prevalent, putting these policies into practice is challenging, especially in an holistic manner where everybody is taking part of the process. This gap between policy and practice is a reminder that accessibility requires more than guidelines. It needs ongoing practical support from both national and European entities. Her work in institutional development emphasizes that real-world impact depends on having resources, structured support, and collaboration at every institutional level. Helen's insights are a powerful reminder that policies only make a difference when backed by resources and dedicated action. Finally, Pedro Encarnação shared an inspiring perspective as a researcher in rehabilitation engineering. Pedro's insights highlighted the transformative power of technology in promoting accessibility. His research on assistive tools opens up new possibilities for students with disabilities to participate more fully in academic life. Technology like this addresses real-life needs by enabling independence and overcoming physical and cognitive barriers. Pedro's work demonstrates that technological innovation is not only a tool for today's needs, but a vision for what is possible as we continue advancing accessibility. This forward-looking approach reminds us that technology can be a cornerstone of accessibility, giving students more autonomy and institutions more tools to meet diverse needs. And I remember the words of Alice also on her laboratory or the future laboratory where we can experiment these kind of tools that act as rehabilitation tools for the users to be more independent, more autonomous. Drawing from the insights of our panelists, let's look at some key action points we can all take back to our institutions. First, for institutions, it's vital to embed accessibility in our quality standards, ensuring it's part of our educational framework. Policymakers are encouraged to continue providing robust, structured support at both national and European levels, which is critical to help institutions turn policies into actionable, sustainable practices. Finally, for innovation leaders and students also, of course, advancing assistive technology is essential. By staying at the forefront of technological development, we can ensure that our accessibility efforts continue evolving to meet the changing needs of our students. In closing, let's reflect on the shared vision that emerged from today's panel. Each panelist highlighted the importance of a multifaceted approach to accessibility, one that integrates quality standards, practical implementation of policies, and advanced technology. Together, these elements create an environment where accessibility is not just a checkbox, but a defining feature of quality higher education in Europe. Accessibility in education requires a community, one that, for some of us at least, we have begun building today. Each of you here represents a step toward that future, and the more we connect, learn from each other, and share our strategies, the closer we come to achieve this vision. So, as we move into the afternoon, I'm delighted to introduce panel 4, an inspirational and practical session on accessibility and inclusion in higher education. This session that will be held in room 254 and is designed as a hands-on workshop focused on sharing impactful initiatives for accessibility and inclusion. And I believe it will be one of the most valuable sessions for bringing ideas to life within your own institutions. Today, we'll dive into some inspiring accessibility projects led by participants like yourselves and me, that I will participate also in that section. We'll also have the opportunity to discuss the unique challenges and successes that come with implementing these initiatives. Whether you're just starting on a project or looking to enhance existing strategies, this session is meant to provide practical guidance, tangible insights, and innovative ideas that we can all take back to our campuses. So, thank you all once again for your engagement and commitment to making higher education more inclusive. I hope today's panel has provided you with both inspiration and practical ideas to take back to your institutions. I look forward to seeing the impact we can create together. Please feel free to reach out if you'd like to discuss any of today's topics further or collaborate on future projects. Thank you.
Just to finish, and very quickly, because all of us want to eat, I just want to say thank you to all the speakers, the attendees in person, for the passion of the online attendees, to all my colleagues who have worked very hard to make this event happen. So thank you, and as we all say, we wait for you in the next European event. Now we can continue our work in a more relaxed way in the patio. I think you know where is it, downstairs. And I also would like to ask the people with allergies and food intolerance to tell the waiters just to avoid any problem. And just thought, so thank you so much.